Welcome back to Edu Skills OET Made Easy. Our mission is to make you fall in love with OET. And if you're watching this on YouTube, kindly consider subscribing the channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like our work, and please share the video to your contacts so that we reach out to maximum people, especially those who are financially struggling to crack OET. And that's the Edu Skills mission. And today we have reading part B, and that's from OET Official Sample Material 4. Thank you, OET, for allowing me to use this material for teaching purpose. Okay, cool. OET reading skills. And today we have OET 2.0 reading part B. You know, reading for context, main idea, purpose, opinion, and attitude of the speaker. That's what we are looking for in the reading. And the questions will be based on these things. On the context, main idea, purpose. You know, you should definitely understand what is a manual, what is a memo, what is a email, all those things. And that's what we call context, main idea. Then the purpose of the letter, opinion or attitude of the speaker, and strategies and signposts. These are simple, as we have already dealt with, and we are dealing with this an advanced session. So we'll not be explaining to you all the basic strategies. If you need some further explanations, definitely you can ask me during the Q&A. And now focus on strategies, signposts, and clues. Focus on the paragraph structure, as you know, that's main. Second, focus on the topic sentence for gist or main idea. Ignore the subject complements. Look for opinions after the contrast word. Focus on scale expressions. Look for hedging words in the question statement. Look for synonyms, synonymous language, paraphrasing, and look for modal verbs and cause and effect language. All these things have been explained repeatedly earlier. So reading part B, sample 4, question 1. We are not getting into introductions or basics of reading part B or reading subtest. All the videos concerning these all aspects have been uploaded in Edu Skills OET YouTube channel. Definitely you can visit. And reading part B, sample 4, question 1. So here, looking at the whole thing, you can understand this is an extract from a manual on surgery about disclosure. Okay, that's very important. Since it's reading, first thing you have to look into is what is it? If it is a manual, you know, usually there is a manual. When you purchase a phone, there is a manual, right? Manual means what? For example, this is a manual, how to use your hot bag, right? It says do not use boiling water immediately when filling the bottle, but you have to use the hot water. That's our explanation for scale. Do not use boiling water. You must not, you should not. Means manual will tell you what to do and what not to do. Do you get me? So if it is said it is a manual, the other one says screw the stopper sufficiently tight, all those things, fill the maximum of 2/3 of the capacity. All those things are being said there. Now, ultimately, what I want to tell you, when it says this is a manual, this will be speaking certain things, what you should do, what you should not do. All the manuals will tell you what ought to be done and what should not be done. So they see the question now. When disclosing distressing information to patients, staff must avoid. Staff must. What is it?
Modal verbs.
Modal verb. Yes. So yeah, must. Must means it is mandatory. Must means mandatory. And avoid. Avoid means you should not do. So as we said, manual includes something should be done, something should not be done, must not be done. So here what you have to look for, something that you must not do, ought not do. When disclosing distressing information to patients, staff must avoid. First option, the temptation to use simplistic language, directing their attention at family members, any approach which leads to misunderstandings. Now, from our general knowledge, what do you feel about these options? When you are disclosing distressing information, you know, you are disclosing a sad news. Maybe someone has got cancer or some condition which is very shocking. Now, does it? The first option says don't use simple language. Use all medical jargons. Don't say simple cancer. Some other juridical name you say. What is the other name for cancer?
Carcinoma.
Carcinoma. Even if you have even a stronger word, a big jargon, use that. Don't use simple language when you speak to the patient. How do you feel about the first option?
No, we should use simple language, layman's language.
Yeah. Very fact, without saying anything, it says, like, you know, it's meaningless to say you should use all the jargons so that they don't understand anything. The patient doesn't understand anything. That is the option, first option, right? So you agree with that? Avoid the temptation to use simplistic language or simple language. You should use simple language. That is a common knowledge, general knowledge. Second one, directing their attention at family. When if they are looking at you, ask them to just look at your dad, mom. Don't look here. What do you say?
We cannot say like
Cannot
that.
no.
Is it this option? I don't know. I am just from general knowledge. We should not use our knowledge.
No.
We should not use
No,
our knowledge, but
father.
we are just predicting, foreseeing.
No, father.
No, father.
Yeah. Second is, so we have eliminated two. Only one is left. I don't say that is correct. Okay. But from our general knowledge, you have to use simple language so that understand. And secondly, you should not direct your attention to somebody else. You should concentrate on them, look at their eyes, and be empathetic and speak to them. Okay. So let's now listen to this one. Okay. And try whether our prediction is correct, just for seeing.
The delivery of bad news is very difficult. Arrange to talk to the patient in the company of family, preferably away from other patients. In some cultures, it is not common to give difficult news directly to the patient. We must be aware that the norms and customs of our patients may not match our own. Often, we try to soften the delivery of bad news by saying too much and confusing the matter, or by saying too little and leaving people with unanswered questions. Don't say neoplasm if what you mean, and what will be understood, is cancer. Be clear, allow people to understand and feel some of the impact of the news, and then allow them to ask questions. It is often necessary to repeat the information to other family members, or to the same people the next day.
So this is a manual. We said there are certain things they say you should do. There are certain things you must avoid or you should not do. So could you find some similar synonymous expressions of must,
Yes.
mandatory words?
Yes, must.
Yes, must.
We must be aware.
We must be aware that the norms.
Yeah, we must be aware. Okay,
Aware.
must be aware.
Necessary.
Okay.
Often.
Any or mandatory words?
Often
Don't
saying
say.
not.
Does it mean
Don't
don't
say.
speak? Don't say. Is it a mandatory expression?
Yes, father.
Shut up. Don't speak. Don't say. Don't do. It's must. Synonymous of. Now, maybe this fourth sample is the most challenging. Everybody's opinion is most challenging. Definitely, it's challenging, and I don't feel that you will get such type of material in your examination. Still, there is a chance since they have given this type. This is because this is not direct. There is synonymous and paraphrasing happening in the passages. Now, any other mandatory?
It's often necessary.
It is often necessary.
Necessary.
Yeah. Again, here one. Be clear. Mandatory. Necessary. Where is necessary?
It is
Often
often
necessary to
necessary.
repeat. Necessary to repeat. Mandatory. Beautifully, they say what should be done, what should be avoided. Now, must is used here. This one. Must. Do you have answer somewhere there?
Yes, father. Must be
Yes,
aware.
father. We must be aware that the norms and
The
customs
norms
of
and
our
the
patient
patients
may
may
not
not match your own.
our own. Often we try.
Yeah.
Not
Actually, this
in,
whole
Match
often this
match
whole
our
next whole sentence, all these things, this is a paraphrasing. Third option is the paraphrasing of this one.
Yes.
Is that clear?
Now it is clear.
Yes,
Actually, you did not. There was no
Yes,
need
father.
to go to the audio text at all. Our answer was right because first two options were meaningless, ridiculous. In general sense, you can understand. Nobody will say when you speak to your patient, you should not use simple language. You should use all the medical jargons. Nobody will say that. And when you speak to your patient, you have to tell them, look, nurse will say, don't look at me. Look at your parent. Look at your dad. Look at your mom. Don't look at me. Will you say that? Basically, it's against the etiquettes of life or common sense. So ultimately, so understand this is a manual. First thing is that read the headings, understand the heading, understand what it is, what nature of document it is, whether it's an email, whether it's a memo, whether it's a manual. So you know what is the nature of something. Manual means it says, it guides you, guidelines, should and should not. When you advise patient, you do that, right? You tell them you should do this, you should not do this, all those things. Now let's see how it goes. I'm just explaining fast in detail. Later on, we'll not give you all the details. This is how you have to analyze, just to show you how to analyze. Let's just check the same question and answer. I have to thank Limna Sebastian for helping me with these PPTs. Okay, thank you so much, Limna. And you see paragraph structure. I said you have to understand the paragraph structure, right? What is the paragraph structure? The delivery of bad news is difficult. That is a topic sentence. Now, when you say it is difficult, they are going to explain how you can make easy. Since it is difficult, what should you do? Okay, what are the solutions? The topic sentence is the delivery of bad news is very difficult. Now, what are the solutions? So the topic is delivery of bad news. Difficult is the controlling idea. Okay. How to do it? The approach will be explained. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. The approaches will be explained. Approaches. Approach 1, approach 2, approach 3, approach 4, approach 5. 1. Arrange to talk to the patient in the company of family. You should arrange to talk to the patient not alone in the company of family. Approach 2. Beware that the norms and customs of our patients. Okay. Approach 3. Don't say too much and lead them to confusion, or say too little and leave unanswered questions. And approach 4, don't use medical jargons, neoplasm instead of cancer, which means use simple language. Be clear, allow clarifications. See, all these are mandatory words. Arrange, beware, don't say, don't use, be clear. This is the structure of the paragraph. I haven't changed anything. I only made it short, okay, to fit into the screen. Now you see, this is a question statement delivered. So you have these approaches. So this idea, when you read the question, you should have this idea. Must avoid. What is to avoid? Okay, here you have certain things to be avoided. There are 2 things. Don't say, don't use. One of those must be the answer, because other things are you should do. Here the question says staff must avoid. So manual speaks what should be done and what should not be done. So here 3 things are should be done. Be arrange. You should arrange. You should be aware. You should be clear. Other 2 things are don't say, don't use, which means one of them must be the answer, or 2 of them together. The summary of the 2 can be the answer. Now you see synonyms, how they use. Disclosure. In question says disclosure of news. Here it says delivery. Answer option, it is delivery. And distressing, bad. In the question you have distressing news. In the answer option you have bad information. In the question you have information. Here, sorry, this is in the text. Okay, news. Information means news. Synonymous language. In the place of must, synonymous language used. Arrange, beware, don't say, don't use, be clear. These are the synonymous expressions, not synonyms. Synonymous expressions giving the same taste, color and smell, and what you call the power of that word must. Then paraphrasing. When disclosing distressing information to patients, staff must avoid. That is a question statement. And topic sentence says the delivery of bad news is very difficult. See here, disclosing, delivery, distressing, bad, information, news. All these are synonymous expressions. So this is known as paraphrasing. Same sentence presented in some other words. So this is the beauty of the paragraph. Every paragraph, every text, how beautifully that can be understood.